En el centro de la pampa vive un pimiento. Sol y viento pa' su vida, sol y viento. Sol y viento pa' su vida, sol y viento.
Bonsoir, je m'appelle Patrick Bernard, bienvenue à la 129e édition du Piment. C'est l'Assemblée générale annuelle de la Coalition verte ce soir, le 3 mai, et c'est aussi le 30e anniversaire, quelque chose de spécial. Hello, I am Patrick Barnard. Welcome to the 129th edition of the Pimento Report. This is the annual General Assembly of the Green Coalition, and tonight, the 3rd of May 2018, it is their 30th birthday. Plus, I think we're going to get some interesting news out of this AGM. Dans cette réunion de 2018, il y a eu tellement d'interventions, tellement de nouvelles, qu'on doit limiter chaque intervention à 1 minute dans le montage dans cette vidéo. There were so many speakers, so much to say at this 2018 meeting that I have to limit each intervener to 1 minute in this montage to give you an idea of the meeting.
Would everybody please take a seat? We need to get started.
I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional and unceded territory of the Konikana, excuse my pronunciation, Mohawk, a place which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst nations.
We have high hopes for the new administration at City Hall. The Projet Montreal administration has made some real commitments, and in particular we have high hopes for the establishment of a national park covering the whole of the Latsalon territory.
Wow!
There was a consultation on the Fallait Saint-Jacques. It looks like finally we are going to get a green band, a cycle path along the bottom, and it looks very hopeful now for a Dal Park, the green bridge connecting the Fallait Saint-Jacques to the... We still have an injunction before the courts. We're the plaintiffs for an injunction to try and halt the work that's currently going on to build the Hubert Reeves Eco Campus in the Saint Laurent Techno Park. We believe we have a very strong case backed by 2 very detailed expert reports from really unimpeachable experts. So we're hopeful when we finally get our day in court that we can be successful there.
So far, we've raised a little over $154,000. And spent it all. About half of that has been raised, maybe a little bit more than half, has been raised by individuals. Has been raised from individuals who have given money without the benefit of charitable receipt. About $75,000 of it has been raised from a foundation for the purpose of doing everything except arguing the legal cases. So that $75,000 has gone to producing, I think now it is 4 very serious, very complete environmental evaluations, connectivity studies. I'm sure you've seen them, the ones for Lancelorme, etc. There are a couple of expert reports for Technopark. The whole philosophy of the thing, and I'm sure you've heard this spiel before, the whole philosophy of this thing is we really want to get people in power to understand that someone is watching, that the rules that they have already put in place, which may not be perfect, but they're pretty darn good if they were enforced, that people are watching and that they have to follow the rules.
You've been, through all that time since meeting you, our mentor and our steadfast supporter, and indeed our champion, and through all the years that followed. And we've been privileged to have you join us at press conferences, at AGMs and special events, and to to have you serve as the eloquent Master of Ceremonies at our salute to the International Year of Biodiversity in 2010 at Parc La Fontaine. And so, as a token of our deep esteem, it will be a pleasure indeed. It will be an honor for the Green Coalition to welcome you into our ranks as an honorary lifetime member. This is truly the highlight of the occasion as we celebrate Green Coalition's 30th anniversary. And I'm going to now invite you to come forward and to say a few words to them.
You have no idea what an honor it is for me to get this recognition from you, because you have no idea how important you are for me. Let me explain that you often hear the words the grassroots. On dit souvent les choses doivent être faites à la base. Mais les gens dans cette pièce ce soir sont la base de l'avenir, de la préservation de la biodiversité et de l'environnement dans la grande région de Montréal. In the whole Greater Montreal area, the Green Coalition's work is recognized and respected. The quality of the work of the Green Coalition is what drew me to the organization in the beginning. You see, it's easy to get together week after week or month after month and rail against this or that. The Green Coalition has always had great people like you with a vision for what can actually be accomplished. That's the beauty of the Green Coalition. I can say that the Green Coalition and its vision, I was looking at the Rivière à l'Homme poster there, we have in the new mairesse of Montreal an ally who understands the importance of the environment. Now, we're not always going to agree on everything. That doesn't exist with anybody in life anyway. But it's such a pleasant change. Valérie Plante, elle était là avec nous en train de planter des arbres le jour de la Terre. Ça fait tellement de bien d'avoir cette femme-là. On a une vraie alliée à l'Hôtel de Ville pour la première fois, puis oui, on peut s'en féliciter. Thank you. Thank you for your incredible hard work. Merci pour tout ce que vous avez fait pour vous, pour votre communauté, pour la grande région et, oui, sincèrement, pour la planète. Merci et bonne fin de soirée et bonne continuation.
2017-2018 a été une autre année active au comité pour la mise en valeur du bois de Saraguet. Nous continuons notre mission de sensibilisation du public et de la Ville de Montréal pour la mise en valeur de la plus belle et de la plus ancienne forêt de Montréal. Il faut aussi exercer une vigilance continue pour la protéger car c'est le site naturel qui offre la plus grande biodiversité de l'île de Montréal. Fondé en 2009, notre comité bénévole se compose de 7 citoyens, dont la plupart habitent à Ontario-Cartierville. Nous apprécions l'appui de 8 associations et regroupements, dont vous, la Coalition verte, que nous remercions aujourd'hui. C'est grâce à une sensibilisation du public et des élus que nous avons obtenu en 2011 la promesse de la Ville de Montréal de commencer la mise en valeur de ce parc nature. Les premiers sentiers ont ouvert en 2016, d'autres aménagements sont à venir.
So 3 years ago, right before the COP21, where the Paris Agreement was signed, a group of citizens said, well, the COP is coming up, we need to really accelerate the discussion around climate change and the city of Montreal. And so they pushed the city with 15,000 signatures to have a consultation on reducing Montreal's dependence on fossil fuels. And so the consultation was a great success. The coalition really mobilized about 3,000 people that took part in this consultation. And there were 15 recommendations, 15 recommandations qui sont sorties de la consultation. Et la coalition a dit, ben, en quelque sorte, notre job n'est pas fini, elle ne fait que commencer.
We have been in partnership with the City of Beaconsfield in a fight with some developers, and the City of Beaconsfield and ourselves, we won. However, it's never over until it's over, and there's such a thing as an appeals process. So we'll see what happens ultimately there.
So this is a 67-kilometer train that they're proposing, mostly across Montreal Island. Number one first. So this is, voici une carte du plan de REM. Et on remarque tout de suite qu'on a l'impression que le REM était peut-être planifié en concert avec des développeurs immobiliers. You notice how this is Lance Alarme out here, and it doesn't make any sense that a development be out there in the fields, except it's very close to these two stations. The REM was supposed to have been secretly planned. And they didn't talk with the STM, they didn't talk with the STL in Laval, they didn't talk with the RTL in Longueuil, but somehow the real estate developers maybe caught wind of it. As Joey mentioned just a few minutes ago, the REM, when it was proposed, they said, well, this is a great project, ça va réduire les gaz à effet de serre, ça va réduire le nombre de véhicules sur les routes, ça ne va rien nous coûter parce que ça va être la caisse de dépôt qui paye tout. There's a saying that if something sounds too good to be true,
It's too good to be true.
yeah.
Both of us together.
So that's the idea.
Down through the middle.
Sure, why not?
There we go.
So I see David Fletcher and Sylvia Olyamar cutting the cake. Happy birthday, David and Sylvia. Whoa. Bravo.
We need to go back to the forest. I think plant a tree is probably the single most important thing that people can do today, and try to develop a better relationship with that tree than thinking of it as, you know, how much is it worth if I sell it for timber, or, you know, or thinking of it as just a decoration.
You must like the film The Man Who Planted Trees.
I like it very much. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
Dans notre cas, Meadowbrook, c'est supposément réglé, qu'on nous dit, parce que c'est protégé. Curieusement, on trouve à s'occuper. Entre autres, l'année dernière, on était en cours à peu près, je crois, la même journée, effectivement, que le boisé d'Angell Woods. La ville a gagné. La ville était poursuivie par l'entrepreneur, le promoteur, je devrais dire. La ville a gagné, mais effectivement, il en appelle. Et quand Campbell parle de l'importance pour nous de se servir des tribunaux, sachez que de l'autre côté, il ne se gêne pas. Parce que dans notre cas, le promoteur à Meadowbrook, le propriétaire, je pense qu'il y a 4 ou 5 causes en ce moment qui pilotent. Alors, l'appel auprès de la Ville de Montréal, quelque chose, une autre cause à Côte-Saint-Luc, et maintenant, il va même essayer de se sortir du schéma. Parce que le schéma avait décidé en 2015 que nous autres, que Meadowbrook était un espace vert. Bien entendu, il n'est pas d'accord. On s'en doute. Alors, nous autres, on continue. On veut faire de Meadowbrook un parc nature. Je pense qu'à un moment donné, c'était le 25e parc nature. Je ne sais pas si c'est encore le cas, mais c'est ce qu'on cherche à faire.
As most of you know, or perhaps I'll be teaching you this evening, that Sierra Club is very old. It's 126 years old in the States. John Muir was the founder. It's a different beast in the U.S. It's got 64 chapters. You have the ex-mayor Bloomberg, who gives millions of dollars to the Sierra Club, so it's very different from Canada. And we only have 4 chapters. And it really is a grassroots operation here in Canada, so we can be very proud of that. Don. So while we have very many wonderful volunteers, I have to say a special mention to Don Hobus, who is, who is just tirelessly representing Sierra Club all over the place. Don is very much involved, as with Grand Chief Simon, who was there at the beginning, remember, in fighting for the wetlands in Saint-Zotique. Please sign the petition.
We went right into election time, and we got busy making sure that the protection of that territory would be on everybody's campaign, and it was. And it was a great day when Projet Montréal took the mayor's seat and brought their promise to protect L'Anse-Lorne with them. So congratulations on everybody who helped with that. They vowed to make the Cap Nature project disappear and to create Montreal's first urban national park.
Yes!
Yay.
What exactly the park will look like is not yet clear, but we look forward to working with this administration to work that out. The recent acquisition in St. Anne de Bellevue is a great start towards this park, and after a lot of years of work on the part of Paula and her administration and her council. So thank you, Paula.
So the Falaise Saint-Jacques, if you don't know what it is, it's a 4-kilometer long green space which runs from Vendôme Metro over here to the St. Pierre interchange on the other side. So it's 4 kilometers long. It's really thin, and it's an eco-territory. It's one of the 10 eco-territories on the island of Montreal. So this is what it still looks like. So there's parts of it that are really still beautiful. It was almost made into a park twice before, but that didn't actually happen in the end. What we needed most to connect up the Falaise with the southern part, because this is the Turcotte project there, was the Dalle Park. So this is a bike pedestrian bridge that was promised in the Turcotte plans and then disappeared, and that we've been fighting to get reinstated for the past 3 years. The Liberal government has just announced that the money actually now exists again for this piece of infrastructure. So that was one of our biggest wins this year. The other thing was that for the 2 hectares that the MTQ destroyed, they are putting in a 30-meter average. It's about 9 hectares along the bottom, which will be a bike pedestrian path with they're recreating the wetlands that were there.
Rousseau Forest is a small woodlot in Pincourt. It's bordered by single-family dwellings and is presently under threat of development. It's the last remaining wild area in Pincourt West and is home to several threatened species, both plants and animals. It's maybe the last habitat in the area for the western chorus frog, the Allegheny Mountain dusky salamander, and the milk snake, among others. So, an ad hoc citizens group was founded to canvass the neighborhood with information about the possible development. We set up a Facebook page and started an online petition. At the November 2017 City Hall meeting, our citizens group asked the council if the land was slated for development and if a traffic study, a hydrological study, and environmental impact study required by the Ministry of Environment Quebec had been completed by the developer. Our mayor, Yvonne Cardinal, responded that no permit for development had been received by the city. And the situation has become critical because yesterday, one of the neighbors noted that someone was in there drilling and a surveyor was in there surveying, and they informed us that they are going to start building houses. So, we need help with how to get an environmental study done on private property. We need a contact for a biologist willing to do the study. Any strategies to delay development to determine if any of the updated environmental studies have been completed, and any legal action we can take to get the city to perform a traffic study, a hydrological study, and an environmental impact study. So if you can help us out, please contact me.
Last spring, several of us became aware of a proposed project to build a nuclear waste dump next to a wetland less than 1 kilometer from the Ottawa River, 200 kilometers upstream from Ottawa. RCPR was founded to oppose this astonishing plan. This plan would see medium and low-level radioactive waste be permanently stored in a near-surface repository. Some of the waste has a half-life of over 10,000 to 100,000 years. The Harper government, followed by the Trudeau Liberals, has outsourced the operation of Chalk River Nuclear Labs and its waste management to an international consortium of 5 companies. Among the members are SNC-Lavalin, who was barred from any World Bank projects for 10 years due to its questionable practices, and another company facing criminal prosecution in the USA, and 110 municipalities passing resolutions opposing the dump, including Gatineau, who also offered the town's facilities to hold our public meetings. We took up Gatineau's offer and held a public information meeting in conjunction with some of our partners. Then things started rolling. On March 25th, Radio-Canada's Découverte program featured the Chalk River project. April 23rd was a big day. It started with CBC Radio's The Current featuring the dump, followed by a press conference in Parliament co-hosted by the Anishinaabe Nation, RCPR and 2 other groups, where a letter to the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, a UN body, was made public.
J'étais très frappé par votre discours parce que vous avez décrit une situation qui est moitié bonne et moitié très mauvaise. Oui. Pourriez-vous nous donner juste une petite explication parce que je n'étais pas capable de filmer comme il faut là?
Bien, la moitié bonne, c'est qu'il y a une grande partie du territoire qui est protégée par des réglementations à la communauté métropolitaine de Montréal dans le cadre du plan métropolitain d'aménagement. Puis en plus aussi, c'est que la protection du corridor vert Château-Guilhéry, c'est un projet prioritaire de mise en œuvre du plan métropolitain. Fait que ça c'est bon. Localement, l'autre bon côté, c'est que du côté de la ville de Léry, on a un conseil de ville qui est en faveur de la protection aussi, fait qu'il travaille dans ce sens-là. Puis l'autre mauvais côté, c'est qu'on a un nouveau conseil de ville dont on n'est pas sûr encore de leur volonté de bien vouloir protéger. Parce qu'à date, ils sont plutôt en support avec tout ce qui s'appelle développement immobilier, développement résidentiel.
Vous avez dit que dans cette région-là, on trouve une biodiversité incroyable.
Oui.
Alors, ça doit être un héritage du passé, là.
Oh, oui.
Un héritage très important.
C'est ça, c'est des vieilles forêts. Il y a des forêts anciennes là-dedans, il y a des forêts refuges aussi. L'ensemble du territoire, c'est un écosystème forestier exceptionnel reconnu, là. Oui. Il y a 3 grands écosystèmes, ce qui fait que mis ensemble, là, ils sont liés un à l'autre, on ne peut pas les séparer. Fait que c'est un grand écosystème. Il y a plus d'une trentaine d'espèces floristiques qui sont menacées, qui sont dans la liste des espèces menacées. En tout cas, c'est extraordinaire. C'est très beau aussi. Puis en plus, la volonté, c'est que dans la région de Montréal, il n'y a pas beaucoup de ces grandes forêts-là encore. Puis ça, c'est important pour la biodiversité. Ça. Il faut des grands espaces verts.
It's just because there's a lot of very dynamic and engaged citizens in that area that's the only space that is really being actively protected. So I'll just show you where it is and then we'll change images.
Alors, pour votre information, quand je suis arrivé à Mont-Saint-Hilaire il y a 30 ans, on était 8000 personnes. On est maintenant rendu en 2018, 18 750 personnes. Et le projet du programme d'aménagement métropolitain veut qu'on se rende à 35 000. Est-ce que ceux d'entre vous savent que Mont-Saint-Hilaire fait partie d'une protection à l'UNESCO?
Oui, oui.
Et vous saviez que l'UNESCO, ça n'a aucune dent, no teeth at all whatsoever. We can lose it like this. Et nous, les citoyens de la zone A16, on s'est mobilisés l'an passé parce que là, 20-30 ans, on a créé un autre comité de citoyens parce que nos élus municipaux voulaient monter des condos en haut dans la montagne, du côté où il y a les faucons pèlerins. There's only 2 places in Montreal that you got Pilgrim Falcon, Mont-Saint-Hilaire et la Tour de la Bourse. Donc, ils nous ont dit, les élus municipaux, j'ai rien contre personne, ils ont dit, faites-nous confiance. C'est sûr qu'on fait confiance. On a réussi à protéger ça. Et soudainement, comme Steve Timmons disait, là, 1 an et demi, on s'est aperçu que la zone A16 que vous voyez ici, qui était une zone, ça s'appelle A16 parce que A veut dire agricole. Quand vous avez la description H, c'est habitation. Et cette zone-là, on l'avait protégée pendant 20 ans avec un moratoire. Et soudainement, il y a 5 ans, le moratoire a disparu en plein milieu de l'été. Quelle surprise. Donc, ce qu'on s'est fait, on s'est mobilisé, les citoyens. On a créé des activités directes. On a fait une marche du chemin de la montagne en partant du chemin Osias-le-Duc pour monter. On a créé une marche avec 125 personnes. On a été sur un terrain de la potière la reconnue au monde, José Ledoux. Et on a fait aussi une activité de financement. Ce qu'on veut protéger, c'est cette zone A16 que vous voyez là. Notre objectif, c'est 0 développement. Alors que le plan d'urbanisation appelle, vous allez l'entendre parler de plus en plus, la densification des terrains. Déjà, le petit lapin de départ, c'est fun. Alors, on veut protéger notre zone A16. On fait une autre marche le 16 juin sur la montagne. Donc, ce qu'on dit à nos élus municipaux, on vous a élus, mais respectez-nous.
But the big news is that tomorrow the Technopark office will close. And so this reflects on what Campbell Stewart talked about earlier. He said there hasn't been a success yet. I think this is a success because we met with Sylvain Willette, the officer there. He's a very nice guy. We've tried to educate him. Joel's taken him out several times, and he's developed an appreciation, I think, for the value of it. But he said, look, the legal fees that they've had to spend have broken the organization. It's $150,000. That's more than half their budget. And so that's really been the victory, I think, for Campbell. So I think we should give him a big hand. Something we didn't expect. We knew they were going to close at the end of the year. There was some mismanagement at the top. The director left 2 months ago, but they just found out last week that no, the office is closing as of tomorrow, and Sylvain's moving downtown to another. And he told me that there would be a moratorium. There'll be no development at Technopark at least for the next 2 years. So. Let's keep up the pressure.
I'm focusing on native trees because our urban environment has a lot of planted trees that are hybrid or foreign trees from China and Europe and everywhere else, and we're losing our native species, and we're not really focusing on that. So I'm doing 3. I'm doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday 11, tomorrow morning. Saturday after the Falaise at 2 o'clock, and 11 o'clock on Sunday, and leaving from the town Montreal West. So this is a poster. It's on the Santé Écologie Urbaine de Montréal, and I think Charlie put it on the website here. So if you want to register, come and join us. Join me.
Sue Stacker, tell us about this youth project. What is it?
Well, it's kind of a brainchild that I just kind of hatched recently, and I've been for a long time trying to think of a way to match engaged youth with many of our member groups that we're always looking for people to help, and I was lucky enough to get a lot of support from students at colleges for La Salon. So I thought, maybe there's more of those out there that are looking for a project to get their teeth into. So I'm really excited. We're going to, find a location, get these students matched up with other member groups, other groups that are engaged, and see if they can come together.
What will the event be called? You mentioned an event earlier that's going to take place in the fall. What is it called?
It's called the Green Coalition Youth Summit.
And do you have a date yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
September.
So that's something to look forward to.
Yes.
Vous souhaitez bon courage et ne lâchez pas. C'est très important de faire partie d'une coalition. Comme Thomas Mulcair l'a dit, la coalition verte a une bonne réputation et ça peut nous aider à nous tous.
En el centro de la pampa vive un pimiento, sol y viento pa' su vida, sol y viento, sol y viento pa' su vida, sol y viento.